You have no enemies. No one has any enemies. These words were spoken by Thors to his son Thorfinn. But look at the world we live in today. What are we taught? The world's cruel. People will step on you. You have to fight to survive. You have to be ruthless. We are living in an invisible war mode. We are fighting our parents, fighting society, fighting strangers on the internet. We are constantly angry. But let me tell you the truth. This anger isn't making you strong. It is consuming you. Today, we are going to decode the deepest philosophy of Vinland Saga. Why a true warrior has no need for a sword. And why I have no enemies isn't just a quote, it's a superpower. After Thors died, Thorfinn only had one goal: to kill Askeladd. He spent 11 years of his life fueled by pure rage, pure anger, just so he could get his revenge on Askeladd. He screamed, he fought, he killed countless innocent people just to get a duel out of Askeladd. But the result of those duels were always in favor of Askeladd, because Thorfinn could not defeat Askeladd. He was too strong, too superior to Thorfinn. Hence being stuck with Askeladd to follow his orders and kill more innocent people. Thorfinn did not care about the innocents. All he cared about was getting a duel and trying to defeat Askeladd to get his revenge. All his actions were led by anger, rage and fury. The trap is that his anger gave him a purpose, but it kept him small. He was a slave to his hatred. He had no identity outside of his enemy. He had no care in the world about anything but Askeladd. Let me ask you a question. Are you that same Thorfinn right now? Do you hate your situation? Do you hate your past? Do you hate the people who doubted you? Listen, anger is a cheap fuel. It burns dirty. It destroys the engine, which is your mind and your body. If you run on hate, you will break down. Think of it this way. If you have a car and you keep feeding it cheap oil, which is bad for it, its engine will eventually be rotted and destroyed. Same goes with your body. If you are fueling yourself with anger, hatred, regret and such emotions, your body, your mind, it will rot down. If your purpose, if your motivation is fueled by these emotions, they will lead you to a darker place. Vinland Saga had a major turning point when Askeladd died. He died, but not by Thorfinn's hands. Seeing this, Thorfinn had lost his purpose. He had lost his identity. He had become empty. Because all he cared about all these years, 11 years of his life, were to kill Askeladd. And the only thing he cared about, he couldn't achieve it. He had lost his purpose. He had lost his sanity. He had lost himself. He had lost everything when Askeladd died. He was screaming. He was crying. It was as if Thorfinn had lost his father again. Eventually, Thorfinn became a slave on Ketil's farm. He had no will to live. He realized that all the time he had spent, fueled by his fury, were a waste of time. He achieved nothing out of them. His life purpose was tied to a person, and that person himself died. And with him went away Thorfinn's desires and Thorfinn's goals. Think about it. In your own life, if your purpose is attached to a person, what happens if that person itself dies? You lose your purpose, you lose yourself, you lose your motivation. And that is a dangerous state of being. You have to lose your false purpose, which is fueled by revenge, validation, etc. And you will have to find your own true purpose, which is subjective to each one of us. But if your goal is fueled by such emotions as rage, it will lead you nowhere. It will just mentally destroy you. Eventually you realize that I was wasting my time, just like Thorfinn did. How he realized that he wasted his 11 years of life. You too would realize that I was wasting my time, fueled by anger. If your only goal is to proving them wrong, what happens when they are gone? You're left with nothing. I felt this emptiness too. Back in the time I deeply cared for a girlfriend of mine. I wanted to give her everything. I wanted to be a better person for her. Not for me, but for her. But eventually, we broke up. And where did that lead me? Into despair. Because my purpose was attached to this person. And now she's gone. And I'm left alone. That actually destroyed me mentally back then. But then I realized that it is in this deep dark void that you plant a new seed. For the first time I felt like I was doing something for myself. And my purpose wasn't derived by a person or by something which is outside of myself. I wanted to do it for me. And it worked for me. Cause in the end, whom are you trying to impress? Your classmates? Bro, after your graduation, majority of them won't even care for you. Unless they were close friends to you. But that's like 2-3 people. Strangers? Bro, legit they won't even remember your face in 5 minutes or so. By the end, only you will be remaining by your own side. Cause people will come and go. But it is you who will stay with yourself. So do it for yourself, man. Thorfinn's healing started when he met Einar. They both farmed together. For the first time he learned to create life instead of taking it. Thorfinn understood that making life is so difficult, as they have to water the wheat, they have to sow the ground. It's a long process and you get the results after 6 months or so. Whereas, if Thorfinn wanted to take someone's life, he would have just done that in a single second. The contrast between these two changed Thorfinn forever. He realized that creating life is so difficult, it takes so much time, yet taking it is so easy. And he killed so many innocents. A warrior isn't someone who destroys his enemies. A warrior is someone who builds a future. Instead of fighting your parents with words, build a career to show them. Instead of wasting your time fighting trolls online, build your physique. A true warrior doesn't fight his enemies. He does not have to prove to anyone of his own worth. He works on himself. He builds something. He builds a future for himself and his loved ones. Creation is the ultimate rebellion. If you truly wanna be a rebel, create. Create a future for yourself. Create something bigger than yourself. When you work on something which is bigger than yourself, a purpose which is way beyond you, and you find yourself in a challenging position, that is where you will grow. True growth happens when you are challenged, when you are creating something which is bigger than you. To be truly strong, you must be gentle. Do you guys remember when Thorfinn took 100 punches just to talk to Knut? It's easy to punch someone who is punching you. It is instinct. If someone's punching you, your second reaction will be to punch him back. But it is incredibly hard to take a punch, forgive and walk away. That takes control. There will be situations in your life where you'll have to learn to take a punch, take an insult and walk away. Thorfinn took 100 punches, but he had the ability to kill every single one of them out there. But he did not, because he knew that is unnecessary. And that is when Thorfinn dropped his iconic dialogue. These lines spoken by him were truly spectacular. He carries on mindset of his late father Thors. He says he has no enemies. No one in this world has any enemies. You don't have any enemies. Often, when you think you have enemies, it is just societal norms faced upon you. Those are not your thoughts. Those are thoughts imposed upon you by others. Think about it. We're all human. We all so similar. We do the same things daily. Many of us have similar life experiences. So why would you consider other human beings, other fellow beings as enemies? Trust me on this one. You have no enemies. It takes control to be composed, to not punch someone who is punching you, to not be provoked by someone who is provoking you. And to do that, you'll have to be in your right mind. And how do you do that? You meditate. I know you've heard it 1,000 times, but you have heard it because it works. I do realize that meditation is so important. So is tracking it. That how much have you done and are you improving from the last time or not? That is the reason I have built a product. I call it the Ronin protocol. It is a Notion template made by me, which is quite simple to use and tracks everything. which I deem necessary for my own self-improvement. I track my meditations here. I track my workouts here. I track my studies here. It has simple user interface, and you can see if you are actually improving from last time or not. After you're done with your meditation, your workouts and your studies, you can go to the discipline log and complete the daily task checklist. This way you know that which days I slacked off and which days I actually did everything right. Hey, if you're interested in buying the Ronin protocol, the links in the description would help the channel. If not, don't worry, you can track your own progress on a diary with a piece of paper and a pen. Main goal is tracking your progression and improving from last time. If you people have seen a river, you must have seen how water flows around the rocks in its ways. You have to become the water. When life hits you, don't dodge it, accept it and pivot it. You might get some hefty challenges in your life, but instead of running away from them, which majority of the people do, you'll have to accept it and pivot it. Face it like the water in the river. It does not run away from the rocks in its path, it just goes over them. Become that water. I feel like Bruce Lee saying that. Vinland isn't a place on a map. It is a state of mind. It is a place where you are in peace with your own self. If you're watching this far, I want to give you a challenge. Drop your sword, which is your ego, and pick up a shovel, which is your work. Remember friends, you have no enemies. You only have teachers. The best teachers in life are your own experiences. And among them, the best teachers are the bad experiences, the tough experiences which you face. Those are the ones that teach you the most. So don't run away from them, they are your teachers. Comment, I have no enemies, if you accept this path and you're ready to let go of the hate. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, VG out.